Alright, hello everyone, my name's Adam or EposVox. This is going to be a little bit of a different video. This is going to be a kind of vlog style video. I just got a big old box in the mail that I'm going to be unboxing here for you. And I have a brand new, right off there, or right off screen in that corner, off camera, a brand new server rack that I got in a couple weeks ago from a public surplus auction. Now what's special about this rack is that I got I got the entire server rack, which is big. It's worth quite a bit of money for $15. Actually, I already lost which rack it was, so let me pull that up here real quick. Now, the rack itself has no branding or anything like that on it whatsoever. I posted the rack to Reddit, to the /r/home lab subreddit, just to, share it and share my experience so far. And I just got it in. They had to forklift it into my car. Yeah, I required 2 big burly family members to unload it and things like that, but I'm super stoked to get it loaded up with some hardware to improve my workflow here in the home office and studio, and that's what this box that I just got in is for. It is an APC net shelter, and from what I can tell of the closest looking model on Amazon, and this one looks almost identical, it is $1,000 new on Amazon. It's a 24U server rack, with the side panels, front door, and double door back door. $1,068.60 on Amazon. I got it for $15.50. Now I had to drive 2 hours up north and have them loaded into my car. We hung out for a little while, did a little bit of vlogging and things like that, then drive 2 hours back down south to where I am. But it was well worth it. And it's freaking awesome. I'll show you what's in it after we unbox this stuff, but I am super stoked to get everything set up. Alright, now first of all, because I know someone's going to make a comment about it, I apologize for the mess throughout the apartment. I know it's messy, especially here in the office. I'm in the middle of grinding for selling a bunch of stuff on eBay as part of a side business with a colleague, so I've got a bunch of hardware, like this giant, badass Netgear Nighthawk router. Better than any router I'll ever have, and it's huge too, even compared to my giant Synology one up there. And that just sold for like 200 bucks. But in the middle of packing and shipping a bunch of stuff as part of that side business, so things are kind of messy. But in here we have in the box a couple things that we will be selling, or that I will be installing into my new server rack. So I am super stoked to get this set up. We have a power strip. Whoa! That may not sound like the most exciting thing in the world, but I've been so desperate for good power strips in the first place, on top of one beefy like this that I can install on the server, so it is actually exciting for me. And then, exciting stuff for hardware lovers. Bam! Now this is still a smart switch, an unmanaged switch, so nothing enterprise level because that would be too loud. And again, here's my server rack, by the way. I guess I should have pointed that out. This is my APC net shelter, which I will show in just a moment. But this thing is huge, and even with just a basic server in it, it's already super loud. So I can't be having a ton of super loud switches in here. I already have a basic, I believe, 16-port gigabit switch on my desk that I've been using since I lived with my parents. Good switch, been serving me very well in there. But I needed a bigger one plus one for the rack, so I got this big 24-port. It's a gigabit, it's unmanaged. Netgear, it's supposed to be pretty silent. I don't even think it has active fans in it. Shouldn't be getting that hot, but it is also rack mountable, so it will go in my server. So let's take a look here, or in my rack. So let's take a look here at the cabinet. Right now it's big, monolithic black. Nothing too exciting. I am gonna put a poster on it, cover it in stickers like I normally do, which will make some of you cringe, but make me happy. And then this door comes off. So I'm also gonna take this door off and spray paint a logo on the front at some point. Probably just in like white. That should be pretty cool, but it's got a big ass door on the front here. And then it is a the technical measurement is 24U, but it goes up to 25U here. So I don't know why that is. I also have no more rack studs, which I did not realize when I ordered the Switch. I think there might be a couple rack studs in the back, but I need the rack studs to install anything on these square hole rack mounts. So I may not even be able to install my Switch properly until I get those in. I ordered a 50-pack on Amazon. But the rack itself, it just came with this weird metal shelf there to cover the gap in the bottom, because there's just a big opening at the bottom. That came in it. And then it has this keyboard terminal here. The monitor is only 640 by 480, so I actually brought another monitor in here because whenever I remote into my server here, it only uses the same resolution as what the monitor connected was. And running Ubuntu at 640 by 480 was intolerable because of how tiny the screen was. So I ended up having to hook this up so I get a little more resolution to control. But this is my Dell Poweredge R4 10. Picked it up when we moved, actually, for about $100. It's pretty loud. I'm going to have to work on it to quiet it up, and it only came with a single 500 gig hard drive. So I ordered some new drive sleds, and I'm going to install some drives. Again, I did not realize I needed special screws for it, so I ordered the drive sleds, and then I will be getting the screws in soon so I can install some more hard drives in it. It has 4 slots. Pretty beefy little server, 24 gigs of RAM, couple Xeons. Just kind of using it as a seed box and download server at the moment. But then my home-built server, my render server that you all already know about, which you probably can't see right there. I built it in a Fractal Design Define R4, or no, Define XL R2 case. And it's way too big, like it's too wide to like fit on a shelf in here or anything. So I ordered a special Rosewell case to transplant the server into. And so I will be doing that probably in part 2 of this adventure, and this will just continue on. So I'm going to have my server here, it'll be a 4U. I have this, I plan on picking up soon with some of this eBay money for selling crap like this, and VCRs and DVD players and stuff, to get me a big 24U, or not 24U, Jesus, 4U 24 bay server so I could put a bunch of hard drives in. That'll go in there, and we'll have a nice little server environment going for my home business here. So this is the front side. Got my big business printer up here. That is one of the drive sleds that I ordered, but again, the screws I used on the sides stick out just a tiny bit, so it won't slide in there. I had to order special screws for it. So I'm going to poster up this side panel. I'm also, at some point, these side panels come off. Completely comes off. So at some point, I'm going to invest in soundproofing for the panels and do a dedicated video on this. But then this door opens. It's a double open door here. And I have all the rack mounts on this side as well. So it's 24U on both sides. Now obviously, most big server mounting is going to go to both sides. I've got some rails and shelves here. They all go to both sides. I can't just mount up all 24 holes here unless I do some fancy ghetto rigging. But for most purposes, I can run my Switch on this side. So that will be a lot of fun and get some blinky light action. So that is what I'm hoping to do today. But like I said, I just realized I'm completely out of rack studs. I thought I still had a couple left. I do not. There is no rack studs here. Those are being used for that. Those are being used for these rails, which I currently can't use, but might as well leave in there because it's going to be a royal pain. And actually, that's not using proper rack studs anyway. So yeah, I only had a set of extra rack studs for both sides, which I used for my shelf for my R410, because the shelf was cheaper than proper rails. So I can't even put the Switch in here right now. But the plan is to mount up the power strip along this wall. There's some mounting holes, you can't really see them. And then mount up my Switch and be off to the races. So this is going to be a fun little project, and I wanted to share it with you guys because server stuff has always been cool to me. You all don't get to see a lot of the behind the scenes tech stuff that I usually work with, but I'm going to be setting up a file server locally. My Plex is going to run from here. I'll be doing some videos on that. They're going to be sponsoring some tutorials moving forward. I'm going to have storage server, download server. It's going to be pretty cool stuff. So I guess since I promised an unboxing, let's open up the Switch here and we will just get a basic setup. Actually, I'm hoping this will come with rack threads. Probably not, but that would be really cool because it comes with the rack mounting stuff, so hopefully it comes with hardware. So in the box we get installation guide, which is fairly straightforward. You plug it into your internet source, which I already have the cable running from my first Switch on over to the rack, and it's mounted up in there. So installation is easy for a smart switch. We've got the switch itself here. Again, 24 ports, 24 blinking lights, all smart, auto configure. I don't want to mess with managed stuff at the moment. Fairly small, lightweight, should stay pretty quiet. Then in this box, I guess we have hardware. Alright, so these are rack mounting brackets. These will attach to the sides, and then these will attach to my rack holes. Hey! Rack studs. Sweet. Alright, so I can go ahead and install it. Power cable, silica gel, screws. Looks like some 3M pads if you're putting it on a shelf or something. Anchors if you want to wall mount it with these brackets as well. Alright, I'm not doing any of that. I'm just attaching these and hanging it up. So I'll show you what it looks like hung up, and that'll be it for this video. Alright, it's been a little while now, but we are set up. We got the blinking lights of the switch. I've got one line to my main switch, and then two running to the Poweredge 410 here, just so it has a reliable connection, and if I get Samba multi-channel working, that might be beneficial for going between the servers. Got the power strip just zip tied up here. 12 ports, gonna serve very well. I'm super stoked. So these ears just screwed into the side of the switch, and then they came with the rack studs, go into the square holes. Fairly easy setup, super sturdy, and all I had to do was plug the Netgear switch in and plug in my Ethernet cables, and we're good to go. We're off to the races. So fairly easy setup. And this is the beginnings of the adventure of my $15 server rack. Hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little off my usual cuff and audio quality is probably not great, but wanted to share this with you guys so much, and it's going to be a long adventure because I'm going to use it for a long time given how big it is, how much space it takes up, and how much trouble I went through to get it, but wanted to share the experience with you. So if you liked it, hit the like button, get subscribed for more awesome videos. Let me know if you want to see any specific server content. Otherwise, it may just be one-off videos like these until it's set up. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Server case got here. The cat likes it. I guess that's a good sign. Cat unboxing. It will be very slow.